Chair, bro. Chair is fucking killing me. Fuck. I hate photos of myself. I can't do it. Can't do this. Oh my. What the? Eh. Moment, searching for a dream that's real. Give it all away just to know.
Open my eyes, see myself in you. Never wanted to bathe myself in blue. Colored in the light, darkest in the day. Left my soul with stains, hardly made it through. Never left a scar, broken from afar. I feel it's true. Fade into the light, forced to slip, but I know it's true. In you, take back these comforts that you made. The restlessness will fade. It will fade. Replace the feeble path you chase. You're losing your escape. Is this your fate? Never left a scar, broken from afar. I feel it's true. Fade into the light, forced to slip, but I know it's true. In
Right. What should I do today, man? I don't know. More fucking no Riz Harry Potter? That could be fun. More no Riz Harry Potter, man. How's he doing? No Riz Harry Potter.
11% reduction in premiums for families. And
Wow.
you might ask, well, why is that not law?
Because it's not
The
real.
land, because it passed the House. But when it got over to the Senate, it was Senate Democrats who went to the parliamentarian and fought
I don't get it. How could you literally make that law, by the way? Whisper. Unless you're just being rhetorical.
to get that provision removed, because they don't care about lower premiums for families. They really don't, and they showed it over and over again.
What do they care about then, buddy? God, man, what is the reason here? What's the logic? I feel like no one, like, they're way too insulated. No one should be able to fucking say these things in a way that, like, is so obviously fucking stupid, right? Like, what is the actual logic then that Democrats would have here? What, that illegals are, like, super important or something? There's no fucking way. I guess people do fall for it.
Again, what do they care about? They care about catering to the most radical elements of their base.
And that means higher health care?
You could see the sponsors,
Cost?
and it's been
Who's the sponsor?
mentioned before. The Communist Party of America,
The Communist Party of America, even if this were true, and all 5 of its members, I guess, 4 members, 4.5, how the fuck would that be their goal? Higher insurance premiums.
Socialist Party.
I mean, how would that be their goal?
Well, that's who's taken over the Democrat Party.
And this guy's brain has been taken over by some other reality, I think. I swear to God, man. I could ask 98% of the people in the fucking country in the US, and I swear I probably only meet like a 0.002% of them would say, "Yeah, I'm a Marxist." And then even further would even know what these fucking words mean, or at least don't have more than like some superficial fucking understanding of them. And no, this is just not true, bro. I don't know where. I mean, he's just creating a false dichotomy, but it's just not true.
It's
Not that I'm not saying it's good or bad. I think it'd probably be bad. I don't like communism, but
not who
this is just simply not true.
America is. America is not a socialist nation. It's surely not.
It most definitely is a mixed economy. Has capitalism and it has socialism. So once again, I don't know what fucking like reptile has taken over his brain, what reality they're from, but the United States is definitely a mix of both. Hey, that M5, how you doing?
Not a communist nation.
We definitely are not a communist nation. Those two are not the same thing.
But the Democrat Party here in Washington is trying to pull the country down that rat hole.
You mean like just further towards socialism, as in like implement some social programs because they're more optimal in some ways? Yeah, just like because right now someone has to ask him, is healthcare in the United States performing optimally, or like optimally when we are the richest country on planet Earth? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking retarded?
We've seen it over and over again.
We've seen it literally right now in this country. We're the richest country on earth and we have no answer to healthcare. What the fuck?
That experiment's been tried.
We're doing it right now. I just want someone to like fucking like beat the shit out of this
Time
dude.
and time again, and you can go look at the scrap heap.
I can just go look at the fucking reality of the country we're living in. Richest country on planet Earth can't even provide healthcare at all. Just like, obviously nothing is free, bro. In economics, though, when you say something's free, there's an implication there. I went to school for econometrics, so if like someone ever says, "Hey, the military's free," I don't think you would ever be like, "Yeah, but like you do know someone pays for it," because that's like middle school fucking argumentation. Empire, come on, man. Like when someone says that the roads you drive on are free, obviously they're not saying that no one fucking pays for the roads. The government spends money to do it, but well, I mean, Mike Johnson found the time to put pounds of blush on his face, but he still could not find the time to swear in Grijalva, who won her election about a month ago. So he spends 30 minutes here with more fucking blush on his face than Kim Kardashian does for her stupid TV show. No, I think the United States already has a system inside of it that we can emulate. Do you know which one I'm talking about? You can't just swap systems like that, by the way. It's not how it works. Governments are different. You have to kind of create and craft these things as what's best for your country. But we already have a system in this country that we could emulate on a bigger scale. Do you know what I'm talking about? The military. It's probably one of the best socialized healthcare systems on the entire planet. But as soon as you're not in the military, they don't care about you anymore, unfortunately, for our soldiers. But it's very inexpensive. It works flawlessly. At least for keeping soldiers healthy to fight, that is a fact. And we could easily emulate that and bring it to a larger scale. We have the distribution, we have the capability of doing it through them. Just pay for what? That, I mean, is that an argument? What are you saying right now? Wait, what? Like, bro, buddy, I don't want to spend $20,000 a year for insurance that I don't even use when I have a family later in life. Why? Okay, here, let me engage with you. Why are you so comfortable relying on not the government? why are you just like sacred on the other side? What's going on here? Who the fuck cares who does it as long as it does it more efficiently or better? Right? What if the government could do it better? I don't know. No, it doesn't. You're just wrong. So, I mean, now we're getting into the weeds here, right? But you're just wrong. We're the richest country on earth, and we pay more for a private healthcare system than any other country on planet Earth. Do you think inflation is a regressive tax? It kind of can be. Do you know that we spend $3.4 trillion a year on healthcare? Do you think that money that we spend doesn't add to inflation? Do you think that's not actually just taxing you? Because technically, all these things amount to something, right? So if the tax is too high, which inflation can be seen as a regressive tax, wouldn't you want to lower that spending? I mean, there's just no end to the ways I can just say what you just said is so fucking stupid, it hurts. Anyways, what's funny is that when it comes to the United States and how we count our taxation, we don't actually count the private healthcare cost that it costs for a family in this country. So if you make like $150K a year, by the way, when we compare incomes to other countries, people like to think that you can just compare the taxation, but the average insurance costs for like good insurance when you have like a family of 2, 3 with both parents is like $20K a year. But we don't include that in that. So technically that's like a $20K tax. You're actually only making like $130K plus the other taxation. So who's actually paying a higher tax? Nothing? Nothing? What's going on? I'm blocking the fucking thing. Shit. My bad. Man. I mean, it kind of is. The thing is that there is an optimal amount of government influence or like spending or control over certain things. And again, I argue that healthcare is kind of a general good. It is not just in your own best like individual interest to have healthcare for other people. It is in the general interest to make sure that, you know, people's families and their living conditions and everything that surrounds healthcare, because it's not a simple thing. Healthcare is complex and uniquely fucking brutal to people sometimes. I think it would be better if we just treated it as if it's a general good. That way we can have a generally better outcome. It's not like eating a donut. No, the shutdown has 2 prongs to it. Empire. Do you know, have prices risen over the past 20 years considerably? Or, by the way, there's no such thing as pure capitalism, but just for the sake of fun, have prices risen over the past 20 years? Yes, I have. That's not going to count towards inflation, though. Just because one thing goes down in price because of technological advancement doesn't mean that inflation goes down. So instead of deflecting to something you know nothing about, how about you fucking answer my question? What do you say? Trust me, I am very aware of the fucking little tactic you're doing. What, that technological innovation can decrease the price of a single thing? Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Do you think that's exclusive to governments or private companies? Do you think private companies are the only things that can do research and development and lower the cost of something? I mean, we're on computers right now. You know that, right? The internet is quite literally something that private companies did not. come up with. You know that, right? So it doesn't matter. So what I'm going to ask you though is, has capitalism in your sense, which it's not just capitalism, but I'm using your logic here. Do you see prices going down overall? So I'm using a core basket for inflation here. You see prices going down. Interesting. Let's just go to the CPI real fast, yeah? Do you know what a CPI is? Yeah? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay. Do you know what a CPI is based on? I'm going to not show you that way. Make it a little bit easier. How do we factor in the CPI? How do we come up with the number? I don't think LASIK eye surgery is covered by. It's because it's not a essential thing. I don't think the government fucking cares. Well, not that many people are completely blind, and some people are on the cusp. And the government doesn't think that it is life or death or necessity to make your eyes slightly better, or sometimes worse. So it's definitely an elective cosmetic surgery. I don't think so. Soldiers need to be able to shoot, Bogos. That's why it's covered. Come on, use your brain. We need people who can shoot. Is there no risk of doing LASIK? Isn't there essentially like a chance that the surgery doesn't actually do anything? Probably pretty high, but 90% to achieve at least 2040. It looks like it's pretty high. The chance of success when close to blindness is not the same as those with simple refractive errors. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. It cannot fix vision loss caused by underlying eye diseases and blah, blah. I mean, it's not like the government just probably doesn't think it's a necessity. So I'm not saying it's not safe, but Empire, did you... Anyways, it doesn't matter. Do you think food at home over the past 20 years has gone up considerably or down? What do you mean 85% tax for healthcare? Nothing is free, but would you rather pay less or more? Oh, okay. So have you ever looked into how much healthcare costs, buddy? In 2022, the average premium for a non-subsidized health insurance for a family of four was $1,500 per month. $1,500 per month. This is Anthem Blue Cross. It's a pretty good health insurance. How much money is that per year? Not bad. Oh, not bad. Okay. So let's just, think about this. You still have to pay when you go to the doctor, by the way. You have to pay a deductible and all those things. So people just avoid going because they don't want to pay the sometimes $1,000 deductible. Copays are free, though. If you have a problem, though, it's pretty expensive. But that is $18,000 a year. $18,000. Where is it? Adjusted for a year. Out of pocket medical costs. P value. Canada. P model. This is what I'm looking for. Not there yet. Out of pocket expenditures, $500 to $2,300 annually for their care. Probably should put in tax burden actually. Canada, we'll just use AI for this game. Canada estimated to have spent about $9,054 per person yearly. So if this one is $18,000 for private insurance, which covers literally less, and I guess spending per capita is about $6,112. Why would you want to pay $18,000? What's up with that? Wouldn't you want to pay the lower one? You think you get free healthcare? Bro. Oh my fucking. How old are you, bro? How old are you? Oh my fucking. There's no way you just said that. You think this is free? I thought you just said nothing is free, by the way. Oh my fucking lord, bro. Do you realize that employers in the US is where your healthcare is purchased from? Oh my fucking god. No, you get paid first and then they take money out of your paid labor to then pay insurance. They do it on behalf for you. They bargain and everything. You pay for insurance, dude. It's not free, you idiot. You've got to be kidding me. How old are you? Do you really think like it's free? No. He literally thinks it's free. Like the job pays for it. It's not cheaper. No, literally. We're not talking about income tax right now. Because Canada spends, what is it? By the way, if you are paying a 55% income tax in Ontario, Canada, you need to get an accountant if you actually make money. Because you're just being stupid. Get an accountant. Are you doing it by yourself? What are you doing? Like, How old are you, man? I think it's like 70 or 80, right? I am Canadian, by the way. Like, at least I have family who lives there. I've been to Ontario a lot. I've talked to my dad about this because he lives there now, right? And you want to know what happened? He had this same complaint, and I told him to get an accountant, and then he fucking paid way less, and now he doesn't bitch as much. Oh my fucking lord. What is the effective tax rate of most Canadians? Wow, this looks impossible to do. Holy shit, but look how big that is. What does it say? We'll go to Ontario though. This is income tax rates for Ontario, and then you have federal income tax rate. So you need to make over 250K to get 55%. Actually, not even that. Do you make 250K? Because if you do, you need to get an accountant, bro. Oh, here, I'll just make this bigger for you. What does that say? Right here. 33%, 13%, 220. The federal's 33. The state, Ontario, or the province is 13. So if you're not sure, what are you trying? Why are you acting like you are? I don't get it. What's the deal? What's up with that? And I just got to go back because, like, you don't actually think. Why? I'm using literally the government of Canada's website. Why do we need a different source? Huh? The fuck? Look, I'm not like, I like low taxes, bam. So does everyone else. But what you have to understand is that if the outcome that you want is actually better if you subsidize it and tax it, then why would you like reject that? Why would you like instinctively go, no, I want to actually shoot off my fucking foot just to make sure that I don't pay taxes, instead of like, oh, everything's better now if I just pay some taxes. I know you have like a dogmatic, libertarian fucking stupid view of just like taxation theft or something. Hamilton number 30 through 36, just fucking really long, like it's stealing my money or something. Get the fuck over it. What you need to understand is like some things are better if you just tax it and subsidize it. And if it is, sometimes it's not, by the way, but if it is, why would you reject that? Again, it's literally going like, I'm about to run this race, so I'm going to shoot off my foot. That way I can say that I'm hard and I can run the race with no foot. Oh, okay. Do you think Texas has zero taxes? Do you think that income tax is like, do you think that that's the only way you can get taxed? Very funny. I love how people just have zero clue how taxes work, dude. Do you know how much property taxes is in Texas? Okay, well, they all amount to a tax burden. Do you think you can just pick and choose randomly which fucking tax rates you want and then be like, well, there's no income tax, I'm fine. Except the effective tax rate on owning a property in fucking Texas is insane. They're not that cheap anymore, buddy, unless you want to live in the middle of fucking nowhere. Where you thinking like Austin, Texas? Yeah? You think this is cheap? Yeah? Houston. Oh, you think Houston is cheap? I mean, just get ready to not have fucking home insurance, but it's about what, like half? 345K? You think that's cheap? You think that's cheap? Yeah, that'll be underwater from a hurricane in like 2 days, and you can't get home insurance. So you're gonna sink all of your equity into a place that could actually just end up getting fucked. Why do you think it's cheaper in Houston than it is in Austin? What the fuck? This is a lot of money for something that's straight up a risk that you should never do if you're trying to make sure you have wealth. And also, this is still not cheap. I don't give a fuck about the politics of the cities, bro. Come on. Stay on topic. Stay on topic, bro. Who the fuck cares if it's liberal or conservative? Who the fuck cares? Houston is liberal. Like, $55% of certain Harris County homes are all subject to losing their insurance. Are you going to buy a home there? I didn't say all of them will. You just better hope it's not your home, buddy. Because if it is, you're fucked. Also, home insurance rates in Houston are pretty high. You know that, right? What does that say? Is that an 18%, I think? Right? That's about 18% of your home you're paying in tax. You know that's a tax, right? So you're like, I don't want to fucking pay income tax anymore and get free healthcare and all these fucking benefits. Instead, I want to pay all of my money into a fucking home insurance rate so I can not get covered as soon as it fucking, gets flooded and drowned. Come on, dude. As soon as you go to try and put this claim in, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you forgot to like give us this piece of paper, and thank you for the hundreds of thousands of dollars, but sorry, your equity is gone. Goodbye." Better luck next time, buddy. Holy fuck, bro. That's 18% per year, by the way. That's a rate change. So it's not 18%, I'm sorry. I'm pitting that. That is money. And then there's like right next door to you, there is the glass insurance, fucking housing coverage firm, and they're like, stipulations may apply. If too many rocks are thrown, we won't cover you. Sorry, that'll be $2,500 a month. We only cover volcanic stones. This is sandstone. Sorry. But actually, well, your house was hit by a meteor. Sorry, that's a different kind of rock. It's not Earth. Thank you for paying us $2,500 a month, though. You have cancer now? Ah, fuck. If only it was free. Here, why don't you go into bankruptcy now? Empire, do you know the percentage of bankruptcies in the United States that are medical debt related or medically debt related thing or bankruptcies? That's great, dude. That's great. Where is Katie? Is that like on a hill? These homes are a little more expensive. Oh, Katie's a city. It's a city. So we're talking about Harris County. Oh, look, man. Wait, you hate taxes, but you want to pay $10,000 a year in insurance costs. Wow. Among homo. Nice, dude. How are wages? What? Then what? Higher than what? Higher than what? You mean like Canada? Okay, so again, this is how you're fundamentally stupid. So in America, the fucking healthcare cost I was telling you about, that 20,000 a year, is taken out of your paycheck by the employer. So if you make 150K a year, you actually make 130. It's not reflected that way though. It still says you make 150. So you can't just take wages from countries and just go like, "Oh, wow, these are different. They're in different currencies. They have completely different modifiers that make them what they are." And trying to do that is fundamentally fucking stupid. It's like, what if I just went to Germany right now? I was like, let's just take fucking Germany's euro and just like compare the fucking income per year with Texas. Why would you do that? They don't factor them the same way. And they have completely different ways in which they pay taxation or spend money. So, whatever. Sorry I'm being an asshole, but just like, what the fuck, bro? Like, just my advice is, instead of shooting your own foot off, if something is better a certain way, quit sticking to some ideology that is wrong and try to just think about it differently. Because when it comes to healthcare or other related things, like the military, there's no way any of us would go, we should make that private. That'd be so much better. No, it would not. No, it wouldn't. I mean, you can just hobble along the fuck finish line. Yeah, so Canada has free healthcare there. The computer scientist there, if he has a family of 4, minus $20,000 from that. Minus $20,000. Exactly. So you see how this is stupid to try and compare just like straight up yearly earnings to yearly earnings? You still pay an income tax in the United States. How much is property tax in Ontario? You said California, right? Did you put California there? I'm assuming that's near San Francisco. Do you know how much it costs to live in around Santa Clara, San Francisco, Silicon Valley for a computer scientist? Are you retarded? Do you know how much the average rent? It's like Toronto has its own problem, but do you know how much the average rent is in San Francisco? Are you stupid? Computer scientists can be remote, but no, they'll probably ask you to actually move to San Francisco if you're going to be making that much money. I'm sorry. They don't really. I mean, it could change for some of those things. You're correct, but they probably want you to come in and work with a team sometimes if you're doing software development or things like that. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, in the yeah, in certain cities, can you name the cities that I'm talking about? We're back to another. We're back to another problem here. Okay. All right. Can you think of what cities have budding computer science? I know. I'm asking you what cities. Can you think of? Let's see. Austin, Texas, computer science job opportunities. Yeah. I think Austin, Texas is a really good place for this, right? Correct? If I'm not mistaken, it's kind of like a budding tech area. Right? Now, let's remember how much houses cost. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it is very expensive. I forgot. So Austin, Texas, you know, your salary, right? Let's say it's like $110,000 a year. Your local income tax, blah blah, all those things. If I did property tax, you know how much that would be in Austin? Okay, well, there's not really going to be any jobs in those areas as far as software is concerned. I'm pretty sure Dallas is starting to get better, but Houston not so much. It's mainly going to be Austin. And all of those places still have the same problem. So property taxes. You see this right here? You know why they make the property tax look like this? I'll zoom in for you. It's to make people like land gently. Why do you think they wouldn't just put a percentage there? Does anyone want to figure out how much a $630,000 home will be for property tax right now for me? They don't really have a lot of sales tax and they don't really have income tax, but make no mistake, Empire, they will find a way to fuck you. If you think that just because the place doesn't have an income tax, how is GDP going to reflect your economic reality? What the fuck are you talking about? That is gross domestic product. What does it have to do with the economic outcome you have? Our GDP has been rising for like 20 years, and would you say that everyone has a better economic outcome right now? I feel like everyone's fucking angry as fuck because the economics of their reality are bad, but GDP good? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like, I mean, the GDP is being pushed by 7 companies in AI and tech in the S&P 500. Somehow I just don't really feel like that's going to translate to the average person. So, I mean, you do you though. Now, I'll do the tax rate for you. If your home is $640,000, okay? And for every 57 cents, you have to do for every $100 taxable value. So that means we'll divide it by what, 100? 6,400 times 0.57. You have $4,000 in property taxes from the state alone. And guess what? Or sorry, this is a city. My bad. This is a city. The city charges you this much. The city will charge you $4,000 a year for property taxes. Now, how much is the Texas property tax? I know, I'm so bad with that. I'm sorry. Wait, it looks like it's higher than that. Probably should just do 0.57 times 100. No shit, my bad. Wait, what is the fucking property tax in Austin? Probably fucking super high. Oops, I can't type right now. $7,000 a year in Texas? 8,000? Okay. Wow. Well, you're going to spend a lot of money. You know that, right? And those are getting harder and harder to get. That's kind of the problem, man. Gun deaths in the U.S., Bogos, are actually very specific. It's kind of gang related. You really don't have to worry about gun deaths. The problem with the gun deaths in the United States, when we see them, is they're extremely brutal. So when you have to watch Uvalde, where like 23 fucking first graders are brutally murdered by like an assault rifle, where you can't even fucking figure out who your child is. That is uniquely disturbing. That's why no one is really up in arms about the average gun death in this country, because it's usually very specific and gang related. And that's more of a systemic problem. The other one's systemic too, but it's not like we have to worry about our lives because gang members don't actually just go around shooting people and murdering people. And no, Empire, that's not true. The good areas. Do you know where Sandy Hook was? Where was Sandy Hook? Take a guess. This is in Maryland, pretty small fucking town, but somehow the homes are 600. Did I not just explain how? Whatever. While obviously rare, like I just said, for like 2 minutes, they are uniquely brutal. Yeah. Are you a real person? Oh, it's fucking life is brutal, bro. Man, how did I not think of that? Fuck. Dude, you know what else is brutal? This conversation. What the fuck? Are you a real person, man? Like, what is going on? You did not just hit me with the fucking, I don't know, man. Have you ever thought about all of life being brutal? What the fuck? There's no fucking way. So brutal. Oh my god. Okay, I have to pin this one too. There's no way. These are ridiculous, Haley. Do you do stand-up comedy? What is happening? Oh, you lost your home in your childhood elementary school? Brutal, dude. Have you ever thought about the stabbings in Toronto? Man. Fuck. Anyway, Sandy Hook was a nice area. Sandy Hook was a very nice area. And if you remember what happened in Sandy Hook, it wasn't first graders in Sandy Hook. Sandy Hook was like kindergartners, I think. Were they, right? Or I don't know. They're pretty close. It's like the same thing. The Whisper? Okay. No starvation in Gaza. Rabbi Shumley? Who the hell is Rabbi Shumley? This guy sounds like he's just willed this fucking idea into existence, dude. He's the best seller for kosher sex, a recipe for passion and intimacy in kosher Jesus. What? Why is this the top question? One sec, I need to make this bigger. Is this guy a real rabbi? Bro. Holy. Brutal. Is Rabbi Shumley a real rabbi? Yes, he's a real rabbi, ordained by Orthodox Jewish rabbi. He is one of the most 50 influential rabbis in the world. Is he the one who wrote the anti-Christian enslavement in the Talmud? Is this the dude I've been looking for? Fuck. I have questions. Why is Jesus boiling in human excrement? Come on, man. I need you to tell me. Wait, I thought you couldn't convert people to Judaism. Wait, I thought you couldn't convert people to Judaism. Isn't that what that guy told me? This guy was sent to Australia to fucking evangelize people to be Jewish. What is he supposed to do? Bring 10 fucking women? How can you do that without women? What is it, a brothel? Like, what the fuck happened? Holy fuck. Oh, I fucking ended the wrong one. Shit. You, all right. Okay. So what is this guy? Relationship with Michael Jackson? All right. This guy's Wikipedia page is like truly stranger than reality. It is like come to life. That fucking figurative metaphor just reality truly is stranger than fiction. This guy is a top 50 most influential rabbi, has a relationship with Michael Jackson, and created a book that says how to do kosher sex. Yeah, like what the fuck? This is hilarious. What is the AV Club? Honoring the child spirit and learning from our children. Wait, he published a book called what? Excuse me? What did that just say? Where is it? I lost it. Bruh. He published a book. Where the fuck is Michael Jackson? Here it is. Entitled in 2010, entitled "Honoring the Child Spirit: Inspiration and Learning from Our Children in Conversation with Michael Jackson." All right, this guy needs to be thrown into the sun, right? In 2010? What in the fuck? He also wrote the Michael Jackson tapes in the sand. Keep this guy away from the causing children, okay? I'm sorry. If he's got aid, we need to take it, and then we need to facilitate the transfer. IQ, Bogos, is not a good way to measure anything. And that's because black people who were systemically fucking, kept out of the economic modality of the country live there. And then they have high child pregnancies because of socioeconomic reasons, same with STDs. And gun crimes are a product of the fact that when a community feels like they have no representation by the state, aka the police, they tend to police themselves. Gangs are just simply born out of the fact that people don't feel represented by their government. So I'm not sure what you're trying to say with that stupid ass fucking statement, but no, it's not because of fucking religion. Okay, that's not just fucking retarded. That is. Quit calling the kettle black, dude. You know what I mean? You just like made in statistics, okay, Bogos? Like when you take statistics kindergartner version, all right? They make you literally do this. They make you straight up look at this fucking graph and go, well, what does it look like the South is? Okay? They go, how many people get degrees in the South? And then they go, how many people are poor in the South? And it's like literally statistics for fucking kindergartners, okay? Where the fuck is it? Why can't I find it? Okay, now I'm annoyed. have to fucking put this in properly. I'm so dumb I can't even find the fucking stupid statistics thing. Because historically, the South has had a long, brutal, and particularly nasty relationship with white supremacy. So, is that supposed to be a question, or are you just like trying to be funny? It's not like everyone in the South is a white supremacist, but it most definitely is a true statement to be like, the South has a very particularly stupid history with white supremacy. Those two are different statements. I think he does, bro. I'm still reading it, right? Like, I just got a little distracted, but like, what is. He's part of the World Views Network. What is the AV Club, by the way? He's written in a pop culture website, online newspaper that talks about random pop culture stuff. Why? Shouldn't he be like doing Orthodox rabbi shit? Like fucking telling people not to eat pork because we didn't know how to cook it or something? People in Africa? That's like a lot of different countries, man. How, that doesn't really make any sense. Do you mean like a specific country, or do you mean like literally all of Africa? What? Also, are you talking about me? How the fuck am I an imperialist swine? Africa, unfortunately, developed later industrially than the other Western countries and had weak institutions that were able to be taken advantage of when they were forming their new constitutions and their new institutions. So, unfortunately for Africa, it did not have the institutional strength to retain wealth or the ideas it wanted to develop. A lot of African countries have a long history of trying to get democracy and then being corrupted by bad actors while they were still in the process of renewing their constitutions and everything. So Africa is more of a product of the fact that the Western countries were a little more technologically advanced, not like morally or anything, just literally more technologically advanced and had stronger institutional strength. And Africa did not. It's just unfortunate timing for them. That's because when Africa tries to actually take care of itself and make sure it can keep its wealth, countries with different interests make sure that Africa cannot do that. So the Congo right now, the Congo could be very rich if they could actually nationalize their cobalt industry, but China and other foreign actors do not let that happen. So Africa is in a position, or at least the Congo is in a position where it cannot actually achieve that. The institutions are too weak and prone to corruption because they were still forming. It's not because Africans are like less capable or able. It's just unfortunate fucking foreign interests, which are far removed and disconnected from us. So we feel like it's okay, but wait, are you talking about me? Who are you talking about? Baza Belinsky. Who are you talking about? Bogos. Is that the African countries, or is that just like one dude who's like put there to make sure that the African people do not get any of that wealth? Those two are definitely not the same. And here's another thing I can bring up, Bogos. Doesn't that mean that just investing in something simply doesn't mean that you're now fucking rich and wealthy? Isn't that kind of weird? It's almost like you need a strong government and institutional strength and a wealthy government with good revenue taxation as well as spending and debt security to be able to be rich. I do, yeah. Why do you feel like my opinions aren't conservative? I haven't even stated a single progressive or conservative take yet. Are you talking about me? Who are you talking about? Azablinski, who are you talking about? Me? I'm like, bro, I'm like, how am I a Nazi? I started streaming because I'm very against Trump, by the way. So, not that Trump is quite literally a fascist, but like, I wouldn't call him a Nazi because no one can be a Nazi. That's done and over. It'll be something new. And who are you talking to right now? I have no idea who you're talking to. Trump is not a conservative. What part of Trump is conservative? I mean, again, he has no values. He will literally do whatever it takes. Okay, so personally, I think I have a lot of family conservative values. My definition of conservatism would be like the conservation or the assiduous and mindful, temperate conservation of resources, tradition, and resources in that sentence doesn't mean like minerals. It means values, or it could mean like tradition, as the second word does, just supplementary. So like a conservative take of mine, which I'm saying here pretty often, Bogos has argued me on this, is that I think the family unit's pretty important. That doesn't mean I need to like, presuppose that on other people, but for me personally, I want my kids to have like a very cohesive and communicative family unit. So if I were to put that into like a phrase right now, I want my kids when they're growing up to be at a dinner table at like a reasonable PM time, like every night when they're growing up. When they get a little older, obviously it'll be a little bit more fluid, but I think that's important. Things like that, things that traditionally I find merit in. I mean, a lot of people would say it's very controlling, but to that I would say I don't fucking care. And it might be me swinging the pendulum very different from how I grew up. I don't know. They do, because what people will say, like, here's one that I can turn on its head. People will say that what's conservative is if the woman stays at home and the man goes to work. We can all agree to this, right? Right? That's a conservative value. The entire idea there is that the family is most important, right? Yeah? Yes or no? My life. I'll make a poll. How about that? There you go. Oh. I made a poll. How about we do a poll? There you go. I honestly, a lot of his opinions I definitely disagreed with, but he's he was very correct on literally family, like internal family stuff sometimes. But so I'm gonna turn this on its head once everyone's done voting, okay? And I'll show this very easily, in my opinion. Does it say 24? How many people are fucking watching me right now? Does it say 24? Am I counter accurate? I don't fucking care. 26. How many people are in here? It says like, like what? What's going on? How? It says 9. Okay, it says 27 for me. I'm confused. Oh, I can vote. I'm retarded. Okay. Anyways, so I'm gonna be the first no. All right. Do you want to know my reasoning? I will tell you my reasoning why it's no. So, if the conservative value here is that the family is most important, what if the wife was able to make more money and give better access to the family to buy food and go to school for the kids, and the man stayed at home? Is it truly a conservative value to essentially, out of spite, because you think that women need to stay at home, that it's conservative? Isn't taking care of the family more conservative? So is it really that women need to stay at home, or is it the family that's more important? What is the conservative value there? Family is. You should not care who works if it means that your family is going to do better. Fucking. I literally, for a second there, I was like, okay, geez, I'm gonna stop streaming. My God. I mean, but we're appealing to a higher value there, right? That M5. What is the higher value there? The family unit, right? What's best for the family? That is truly the conservative value there. So if your like wife, let's say she is educated, and she actually gets a job offer that makes like twice as much as you, is it really the conservative position to take care of your family is to go, no, you need to stay at home. We're going to make $100,000 less because I'm the man and you're the woman. I say that's fucking retarded and not conservative. I think that's called weak, personally. All right. Let's watch Rabbi Michael Jackson, or Michael Jackson's personal rabbi, about how to do kosher sex. Debate Cenk? Who the fuck did you find this? So Sam.
Hello and welcome to Global News Today with me, Michal Prendergast. And today, we have a special debate on Netanyahu's threat to reoccupy Gaza amid a worsening humanitarian
6'3".
crisis. And joining me on this is Cenk Unger, host of the Young Turks, and
yes.
Rabbi Shmuley Botek, who describes himself as America's rabbi. Let's dive in.
How do I end it? How does it pull in?
Thanks so much for your time, gentlemen. I'd like to start with you, Rabbi. Is Israel using starvation as a weapon of war, or is Hamas blocking aid as Israel claims?
Firstly, thank you so much for having me on, and it's nice to debate my adversary and maybe one day friend.
Cold.
Cenk. I would ask Cenk at the beginning of this debate, let's try to have a somewhat civilized.
No, I feel like Michael Jackson's personal sex rabbi is probably going to be very tempered. I feel like this guy's most certainly going to come to everything in this argument with Orthodox Judaism and the Torah neatly by his side.
Debate. In the last debate that we did, he called me a Nazi, bulging sinews from his neck. And let's just try to keep this a little bit civil. I'm not a Nazi, and if that's the way this is going to go, I will fight you.
Empire.
It's the detriment to the audience. So let me address.
Empire, is that you telling me you're really insecure about your height right now? What's going on here? Does that make you feel better? Why did you say that? Ah, yes, the famous biological scientist, Einstein. So do taxes, apparently.
Address the question. Israel is not only not using starvation as a tactic of war, Israel is the first country in history.
I'm pretty sure Israel used starvation as a tactic against Gaza before the war. Actually. Like, explicitly. Because they controlled the food import, so.
To actually provide food, water, and all the necessities to its enemy. Remember that the Palestinian people
No, what is
were
that?
innocent, but they still elected Hamas as their representative. Since then, they've been suppressed by Hamas.
Okay, yeah. Notoriously, again, let's think about this, guys, okay? Right after Hamas murdered the Gazans in the streets to kick the PLO out, they had the ballots ready. They were literally just like, here, vote for us, as they were shooting the AKs at fucking They completely were representative, okay? It's not like Hamas was actually fucking murdering the PLO as they fled the fucking Gazan, non-state. But they had ballot measures in their pockets, like, make sure you vote for us. Okay, dude. Yep. That sounds like that sounds totally believable. It's not, yeah, I am 6'3". It's not like the Gazans had these really nice poll locations set up, right after they cleaned up the blood from the PLO on the streets. They popped up shop and were like, come vote. Yeah, that's what happened. It was a nice, clean election, dude. Printing presses were already fucking warm by the time they started killing everyone.
Israel has delivered 2 million tons of food. That is the equivalent of what the
Okay, well, there are 2 million people in Gaza. So if Israel's going to control everything around Gaza since 2006, which it has, including the water, the energy, the food, the concrete, the fucking imports, then this number doesn't seem so big. But if you just decide not to say how many fucking people live in the fucking area, then it does seem a little big. I don't know.
Allies delivered in the Berlin airlift under President Truman between 1947 and 1951 when Stalin cut off all land routes into West Berlin. It is being hijacked by Hamas. There are videos.
I mean, Fridge, the Palestinians are murdered by Hamas routinely if they dissent. So, in a way, Palestinians are under two regimes. A lot of people in Palestine will never tell you their real opinion of Hamas because if it does get out, like let's say you give your, like if someone comes in there and goes like, what do you really think about Hamas in a survey? You think a Palestinian's going to be like, we hate them. Because if that leaks, well, you're fucking dead. So they obviously are going to be like, they're good, they're good, they're good. Come on. They really are like under two regimes right now, but they have nothing to live for irregardless. So personally, I do have pity for the Palestinians. I don't have empathy because I can't understand it, but Palestinians shouldn't be dying at these rates because they really aren't represented by Hamas. Yeah, and to me, I think Israel, with its advanced military and tons of fucking, I can't really understand it. So for empathy to happen, I have to put myself in their shoes and like actually understand their feelings. And whenever I do that with a Palestinian citizen, it feels impossible. Like I can understand like pain, but I truly don't think I'll ever understand what it's like to be a Palestinian. So it's more of a mix of sympathy, because empathy means that you are actually you are putting yourself in someone else's shoes and understanding. And I don't think I can ever do that. I don't know what it would. I really can't understand what it would feel like. I do have empathy for Israel as the citizens are, because Israel right now is, unfortunately, Netanyahu's doing a lot of damage to them. So the Israeli citizens, people who didn't vote for him, their international image is being tarnished, and anti-Semitism is now fucking running flagrant. So I don't know if Israel will be able to walk back from this. I think I support Israel, but they are committing a fucking genocide. I think Netanyahu, I say this a lot, Yoav Gallant and Ben Gvir and the current guy need to be fucking tried for war crimes. But I mean, there really is no other way to respond to October 7th, but maybe have a little bit more tact in not killing indiscriminately the Palestinians. I It's not like Israel is one of the most advanced fucking militaristic countries on planet Earth. And it's not like there is history that can show that you can actually kill insurgents without killing every fucking citizen in the fucking 100 by 100 square foot area. So I also want to point out, Empire, that just because October 7th happened, do you think that means that Netanyahu can just rub his hands and go, oh, finally, I have my chance to fucking commit my immoral action? Oh, that's really cool, Empire. My bad. Are people just like means to an ends to you? I mean, it's just only a few people innocently murdered, right? Like, whatever. People are like means to an end to you, or what? Are people means to an end? As in, can you treat people as if they are the means? Anything is okay towards a greater end. Yeah. Has Israel only killed Iranian leaders in their airstrikes? Okay. And do you think that is okay? And also, are they at war with Gaza? Is this really a war, bro? What war is going on in Gaza? Russia and Ukraine is a fucking war, okay? Gaza is not a war. It's literally like breaking out the construction crews, taking your fucking Caterpillar dozers and just literally destroying everything and like everyone into like a tiny little corner in Gaza. There's no war happening there, bro. Remember, Bogos, I brought this example up to someone else, but there is no fine line of when we start to demarcate people who are not represented by government or the acting belligerent, right? But I don't really know anyone who is subconsciously saying Hamas and Palestinians are the same thing. No one does. Even the most insane psychos like Douglas Murray demarcate them. Why do they do that? Well, because Palestinians are not represented by Hamas, once again. So I believe there's a heightened responsibility not to fucking kill the civilians, as opposed to like an actual war. So like Russia and Ukraine. If Ukraine attacks a refinery in Russia and one civilian dies, we don't have international uproar over that. Because as of right now at least, there is no demarcation between Russia and the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Huh? I said indiscriminately, not specifically. Israel has never said that they specifically target civilians because that would be dumb, but they definitely have indiscriminately. Why would you try and ask me if they've specifically? I mean, they did bury an entire corps of ambulances that were just Palestinian rescue workers. Do you need something less brutal, or how about the number of children that are dead? No, I'm not sure about that because again, I bring up the Taliban or something, or I bring up ISIS when they took over Mosul or like Sinai, and no one is okay with just murdering indiscriminately to get to the terrorist route. So the occupier here is Hamas. And we can't kill the civilians indiscriminately. I don't fucking care, Empire. There is a reasonable point in which the crossfire is unreasonable, right? What is that number for you? Both are occupiers, in my opinion, because Hamas murdered the actual Palestinian Gazan government in 2006 or 2007. And then they've held onto the country with force and threat of death. So I don't know why you wouldn't call that an occupation, but Hamas is most definitely an occupying force on Gaza. Palestinians do not literally, they don't have access to the aid that comes to the border. Hamas grabs it and then fucking extorts them and then kills them if they say anything otherwise. So you are okay with the death of potentially hundreds of thousands of people who are not even involved to get to the greater end, right? Then how else am I supposed to interpret your sentence? You said that it's not good, but it's necessary, right? So it is a consequentialist. It means that the ends justify the means. One is a better outcome. So you think that the murder of innocent people is okay and necessary if it is at least better than a different alternative. Oh? One is gooder, one is badder. I need you to explain. I don't really know how you're going to get out of this paradox right now. Are you telling me that you can't have an occupying force that comes out of a population? What? I'm not defending any military action. In fact, if you ask me right now, what is your solution? Like, what would you do? My answer would be, that doesn't fucking matter, actually. I don't need to answer that question. But what I can answer is that it is wrong. That one I am fucking positive of. There you go. Do you know who the prime minister was of Israel from 2009 to 2021? No, you don't. You can have a revolt, a rebellion, an insurgency, and they can occupy the population in which they came out of. That is just not true. I'll give you a hint, Empire. It's the same man who's prime minister right now. Did you know that? So for more than a decade and a half, the conditions in which Gaza was allowed to live like, I think Netanyahu is a horrible human being who is absolutely morally wrong and needs to be tried for war crimes. Netanyahu is, yes. And are you asking me if I will condemn Hamas? Yeah, it's a fucking terrorist organization, so. Why did you say military occupation? I didn't say, we're not talking about military occupation. I mean, globalized, I'm sure you could probably Merriam-Webster like a semantic answer here, but like, I don't think you can really say that a population can have an occupying force that comes out of it. That's just not logical. I don't really know if they had options after October 7th. But again, I want to be clear, guys. We don't actually have to answer that fucking question. We don't. That's not something that you have to answer, so. Again, globalized. Semantically, I bet you probably could use that definition against me right now, but I think it would be not logical to think that you can't be occupied by a force that comes out of your own population. Now, in this sense, globalized, do you think it's okay to kill the citizens of a authoritarian, autocratic dictatorship just indiscriminately? Or do you think that in some cases, especially if it's not a real like North Korea might actually have the other side of this, right? Like North Korea, we might actually think because they have soldiers and a standing army, and it feels like they have some representation, but I don't know if you can really confidently say that about Hamas and Palestine. let's be real, dude. I never said they had no choice. I already said I condemn Hamas. They're an evil terrorist organization. So instead of running away from what I asked you, why don't you engage with the fact that you think people can die as a means to an end? Their deaths are necessary, especially if it's women and children, I guess. Because Hamas is evil, right? Is that the justification? You do know that in history, advanced militaries have been able to take out insurgencies like Hamas without indiscriminately killing this many civilians, right? Now, if you take the Israeli side of this, they'll tell you for war, civilian casualties are low. But, you know, that includes stuff like, you know, actual wars. So, which this is not. This is like a genocide. So, if you compare it to other similar situations where an insurgency has taken over a city or an area, Israel's not really doing a good job on this one, man. Doing a pretty bad job. Pretty bad job on this one.
Videos of Hamas shooting the people who gather at the distribution points. Hamas is taking 80% of the food for their fighters. 2 million tons.
So, like that line right there. Why did, like, who the fuck? You see how even the most crazy rabbi is subconsciously separating the two?
Into West Berlin. It is being hijacked by Hamas. There
What do you mean hijacked? Why? Aren't they the representation of Palestine?
are videos of Hamas shooting the people who gathered at the
I rest my case. There's Would you not call that an occupier? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hey, Empire. I don't need to entertain that whataboutism, man. I'm very aware of what you're trying to do right now. If you bring up the bombings of Dresden after this, just know that I see through you, and you're gonna have to do better than that. This is not a new topic. I'm just gonna let you know now. You can come into this room, this Twitch chat, with at least taking longer than 10 minutes to Google the fucking arguments on this. So I don't have to waste my time with some bullshit that I learned when I was like 10, okay? I really don't want to entertain that conversation. It's fucking boring, it's lazy, and it's fucking stupid.
distribution points. Hamas is taking 80% of the food for their fighters.
I know what you're asking, and how about you just listen and try and Google a little longer?
2 million tons of food. Where the hell
I find it weird that, like, he says Hamas is literally killing people.
it is being hijacked
Empire, stop.
by Hamas? There are videos of Hamas shooting
This is the talking point, okay, when it comes to these things. You know that, right? Like, when I'm talking about wars in general and what we find moral, okay? You're not doing anything new here, and you're doing, like, the superficial talking point. Stop. Google longer and then come back.
the people.
Try and find something deeper, not like, you know, Rihanna in 2012 level fucking music. I want You're giving me like the fucking stupid ass surface level talking point.
People who gathered at the distribution points, Hamas is taking 80% of the food for their
I know I'm
fighters.
just like dismissing you, but like that's because I just don't care.
2 million tons of food. Where the hell did it go? Then you have the other issue that the United Nations is refusing to allow the IDF to escort them and protect them militarily. The UN hates Israel. We know that so many of the employees of the UN were actually on the Hamas payroll. They were actually terrorists who participated in the October 7th massacres.
Well, how about I speed it up for you? How many people died in the bombings of Dresden? And was it a population center? $125 or something like that? Dresden? The bombings of Dresden? Well, most of the information on that is wrong, by the way, too. The figure for the amount of people who died in Dresden comes from... No, it's not. That's incorrect, Globalize. You are wrong. That comes from Slaughterhouse 5. Kurt Vonnegut repeats it from someone who also lies about the number. And this is patently false. It was about 25,000 people. Also, he says it's a population center. Dresden was a major manufacturing center for the German military arm, or the apparatus. So there's a lot of misinformation about the bombing of Dresden. And to this day, people still think it is 500 or 300K from Slaughterhouse 5 and Kurt Vonnegut's book. And it's not. It is not. To this day.
And they're insisting that only the blue police.
To be fair, the actual problem with like the bombing of Hiroshima is there was a lot of reflective feeling on that, and it was a actual war between two countries that had standing armies and full consent and representation to kill each other. The people in Japan were behind the the Japanese fully. So I don't think it's the same. And I can't tell you where the line changes, but I don't think it's a serious position to think that Japan and the Japanese during World War II, as well as the Japanese citizens, are somehow the same as Hamas in Palestine. That would be fucking retarded. Sorry, fucking stupid, not retarded. My bad. Keep saying the fucking word. I mean, you want to bring it up to try and muddy the water, right? Why would a nuke inherently be wrong? You're talking about the act of killing citizens, right? How would the nuke be wrong? Like the nuke itself? Exactly. Which is what? Nuking the citizens, right? Bombing the citizens. Which means we're back to what I just said. Which is, do you think the Japanese, the citizens and all, represented and consent in World War II is the same as Palestine and Hamas? I mean, they could have nuked and it would have been the same thing, except Hamas doesn't represent the citizens like Japan's did for the Japanese citizens. No one would make that argument because the citizens of Japan were completely consenting to Japan during World War II. It's fucking fundamentally different. Unless you think that literally is the same thing. I don't think insurgencies, at least in this case, represent each other like that. I really don't. I don't know. I haven't like written enough to tell you why the line is clear for me here, but for most people, they do demarcate them. Yeah, but the Japanese citizens were fully consenting and on board with the Japanese government, as in it was mutual. Do I think Hiroshima was justified? I mean, if you're doing whataboutism right now, that's a complicated question. I mean, I'm not sure. There's a lot of argumentation that it probably wasn't necessary. I know that the deliberation by the president of the time was not easy. So it's not like it was an easy decision. I'm not sure I can confidently say if it was not or is right now. He's so weird. I'll stick to my word. What do you mean stick to my word? Oh, go look it up. Hello, Nicole. Oh my god. Why move this back in? I just realized I have my
Police
face
of Hamas,
the
which are
entire
the
time.
terrorists, escort them in. So you have all this food rotting. There was a Wall Street Journal, a first-hand report of a reporter who said
Alex was okay,
there's
right? Oh,
crushed
shit.
carrots, there's crushed peas, all these baby formulas. They're sitting and baking in the sun, as the UN says to the
Yep, Hamas is definitely fucking representing those Palestinians well.
IDF.
They're like the same thing, bro. Kill them all.
You cannot distribute it. Now, why is that? Because the more of our innocent Palestinian brothers die,
Dude, this guy is making my argument for me right now. Wait a minute. This guy is making my argument. What the fuck is going on, bro? Look what I'm talking about. This is fucking bullshit, bro. Dude, just like... You know, where's the fucking drums? Like, what the fuck is going on, bro? He's like, yeah, more of the innocent Palestinians who die, we should just kill them all. Fuck. He's like fucking as red as a tomato right now, too. I don't even know what to say.
in Gaza, the more people like Cenk can falsely accuse me. How disgusting is that?
Now he's grandstanding.
Of being a
He's grandstanding after defending the innocent Palestinian people who are dying. And somewhere along this sentence, I'm sure it's going to turn into, and they fucking deserve it too.
I'm in Budapest right now, where 600,000 Jews were killed by the Nazis.
Wow.
And you know what, Cenk? You owe me a frickin' apology. And if you were you,
Dude, this guy somehow is making me extremely mad.
human in
now.
the slightest, you would finally deliver it. Because the name of your show is Young Turks Who Perpetrated the Armenian Genocide. It's like
He has literally, in one sentence, I think, traversed many periods of history, many different types of genocides, while in the very beginning said innocent Palestinians are being killed by Hamas on a debate about whether Israel is literally committing a genocide, which innocent Palestinians are just fair game. Do you think this guy even like intuitively thinks when he's talking right now? The thoughts I think are just like loud fucking grunts.
my calling my show the Gestapo or the SS. That's disgusting, and you should be ashamed. And one more
What is wrong with calling yourself the Turks? There's nothing wrong with being Turkish. Being the Turks is different than Armenian genocide perpetrators. What in the fuck?
thing. The New York Times now admits that they lied on their front page. They put a picture of an
Okay, yeah, that's a really easy one to prove because I bet they've lied at least once.
Emaciated, starving Palestinian child 1 week ago on Wednesday on the
Bogos, what are you saying? Bogos. Hey, quit being an Islamophobe. Bogos, quit attacking people. One of my rules. You can attack me. We can have fun killing each other. All right. Don't push away all my potential Islamic extremists that I want to talk to, so I can ask them if Muhammad split the moon in half. Okay, on a winged chariot. I need that in my life. I need to hear the succinct. Yes, of course. So relax.
their front page. Later, they were forced to admit the child had
Bogos, I said shut the fuck up. Shut up.
muscular dystrophy.
All right. Your wording is just poor. If you want to, I'm pretty sure everyone here is probably going to be, okay, upset or at least agree with you that Islamic extremism like ISIS is bad, but you can't just fucking conflate them as if they're the same thing. That's retarded.
He was born with a muscle disorder. That's why he's emaciated.
Is that true? So it's more specific than what I thought? Gran? I mean, that would be somewhat a little crass, right? I'm an Islamophobe? What? Fuck. What am I going to do with my hadith now?
There was a picture of his brother
How do I read the hadith and be an Islamophobe? What the fuck?
right next to him, which the UN cropped out. He
Dude, even the Islamic extremists think ISIS is bad, bro. They're Islamophobic of ISIS. They're literally isophobes. What are you fucking talking about? Bro. Like every single fucking group in the Middle East that's like Muslim Brotherhood went, whoa, these guys are actually even fucking crazy. No, we need to kill them first. Like all of them hate ISIS. No, even Hamas hates ISIS, bro. Like,
he is
dude, ISIS is probably more disliked in the Islamic like extremist community than, I can't say the Jews, but the West. Like straight.
completely normal. There's a picture of his mother holding her. She
Like, how could you say something so stupid, man? Saudi Arabia had an ISIS problem for a bit too. They're all deathly afraid of ISIS, bro. They fucking hate ISIS. Afghanistan, the Taliban, all of these groups fucking hate ISIS. Al-Shabaab is a variant of it. In Syria, they all hate ISIS.
is completely normal.
No, it's because ISIS is radically like their version of Sharia law of what they want to enact is so extreme that even the fucking Islamic extremists like the Taliban and Al Qaeda are like, whoa, 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 like, and they act as like a revolutionary force in all of the countries that have a government. So, like in Saudi Arabia, there's Muslim Brotherhood, but they don't fight Saudi Arabia. But ISIS tried to take over Saudi Arabia, so Saudi Arabia's like, what the fuck, dude?
There is no starvation in
In
Gaza.
Afghanistan,
except
the Taliban lost like a ton of ground to ISIS, and they fucking hate them because the ISIS thinks the Taliban's not radical enough. So, truly, every single Islamic extremist group is actually like, what the? No, we need to get rid of these guys first. Like, all of them notoriously hate ISIS.
for the starvation of Hamas stealing the food.
They were a big problem in
Finally, we know there
2014
is
for
starvation in
Islamic
Gaza of
countries.
Jews who are truly emaciated and were forced by Hamas to dig their own graves in Gaza. Okay? As is shown and
Yeah, they're still fighting
after
the Taliban in the hills in Afghanistan.
a group that killed 3 million people in the true genocide. Cenk, you're an
Give him a metal riff.
embarrassment. Change the damn name
This guy's
of your
still talking,
show.
bro.
Thank you.
Allow Cenk to respond now.
Yeah. All right, so these days Israel is split into two. So there's some folks who are truly horrified to find out that this was not about self-defense.
Well, Bogos, that's because ISIS, a lot of them splintered from the Taliban. A lot of the ISIS fighters were previously Taliban, and they were upset that they didn't win the country earlier than when the Taliban took it back over. So
That this was about the occupation of Gaza, to murder as many Palestinians as possible, move them out, ethnically cleanse them, starve them.
okay, see, this is the problem with like Cenk now, is that when he uses language like this, which by the way, I do think that there's a genocide going on in Gaza, but like our friend Empire earlier, who was like, can you tell me where specifically Israel is actually trying to kill civilians? I can't point to something there because I don't think it matters. What the problem is that there's an indiscriminate killing going on, and it will lead to what he's saying. And you can commit a genocide, if I'm not mistaken, without the intent, right, of saying it. So there's a denial part of it. But I think Cenk here is probably doing the messaging a bad move by stating it this way.
And take Gaza. So the people who discovered that, including, by the way, hundreds of
Bogos, Bogos, you are wrong. Islamic terrorism is not even close to the largest terrorism threat in the United States. What are you talking about? It's not even close. No, it is not. Where are you getting that information from? Are you including the total deaths of like 9/11 and then just like thinking that I'm going to be okay with that or something? I said the US. I just said the US. Why would you bring up, clearly that's the UK, right? I just said the US. Instead of like ferociously biting your fucking keyboard to type these letters in, you said, and I quote, Islamic extremism is the biggest terrorist threat in any country above any other terrorist group. So I'm not misquoting you. Don't fucking walk back now. No, it is not. Not in the US. Not even close. Christ. What? Bogos, you can't just say something so fucking retarded like any country, okay? Because the U.S. is, Islamic terrorism is not even close to being the number one problem. Bogos, what the hell is going on with your brain? Didn't you just earlier tell me, once I told you that ISIS was a big threat to Islamic extremism, you said ISIS is bad. How dare you, Islamophobe? What? What is going on right now? And then you said Hamas is the good guys because I told you that Hamas hates ISIS. What do? Just like furiously fucking punching the air right now? What is going on? In the 80s, yeah, the 60s, and from like the 60s to the 80s, right? Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, they're the good ones. Got it. Bogos is like, they're the good ones. Bomb to explode building because they're Irish? Good. Bomb strapped to your chest because you have beard and are brown? Bad.
military officials in the IDF and the former head of Shin Bet and the two former Israeli prime ministers are all speaking out and saying, oh my God, we didn't know that Netanyahu and these monsters running the Israeli government.
Well, they were trying to politically influence a smaller country. I think probably something to do with the UK. I'm not sure. I don't really remember them asking for a global caliphate, at least. Yeah, you're right about that.
We're going to do this. And now the Israeli government has admitted they're
I will say, though, that is not a really good point to try and say that one of them is the good guys.
going for a quote, full conquest.
Just because
of
someone's a
Gaza.
local
So
terrorist
we were right all
and not a global terrorist doesn't really mean that they're not terrorists.
along. It was never about self-defense. It was always about slaughtering the Palestinians and taking their land, which unfortunately is the history of Israel. So, of course, everything that Rabbi Shmuley said is a lie, because if an Israeli supporter of this current Israeli government is talking, they're lying. So he says, oh my God, there's no problem of food in Gaza. Well, 196 people have starved. 193, and 96 of them are children. So we're supposed to ignore our eyes and ears. We're supposed to ignore those pictures. And so this is what they always do with the one case, right? In the beginning of the war, there was a bomb that landed on a hospital, and Israel was like, I can't believe it. How could anybody say that we would ever hit a hospital? It is it's a mistake
Anyone know that song?
in reporting, and
I
it's
fucked it
all
up, but-
anti-Semitic and blah, 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 and blood label, and we're the victim.
Well, Bogos, we can't say for certain. I think the IRA, if given the opportunity to fly a fucking 737 into the British Parliament, probably would have given that a really good double take. Maybe even a triple take as they drove by. That very attractive looking idea. But thankfully, the IRA was too busy in the hills dealing with their sheeps and not flying massive 737s into Big Ben or something. I don't know. But I think it would have been an attractive idea if given the opportunity.
victims. And then they destroyed almost
Yeah,
every
they definitely
hospital
would
in
have.
Gaza. So they say, oh, there's one kid who
They would have fucking hit that thing at full speed. Probably like from the side too.
already had a pre-existing condition, so it was okay to starve him to death. Well, how about
Yeah, but like, Bogos, just because someone didn't get to kill everyone, or as much, and only was able to kill a little, does that mean that that person's less bad?
the other 95 kids?
Also,
how about
you can't just group all the Islamic terrorist groups together, because it's not like Hamas flew like a fucking 737 into a building in 9/11, so they are different.
the other 192 people that starved to death? So
Because
they
he's
keep
probably
telling
venerates
us
them as freedom
lies,
fighters.
thinking that we're going to believe it when we could all see it. I mean, it's actually a super
I think Bogos is secretly, he's Irish. What's the trouble? Family. Bogos just wants to be like you, that M5. I think that's what's happening. Exactly, globalized. You're asking the good questions. Why don't we try and give them the opportunity and then trap them when they try to. You think they'll make it past TSA? What if they hide inside of a Palestinian when they do it?
Stupid
That might work.
strategy. It makes the rest of the world hate them even more. 61,000 dead now at a bare minimum in Palestine. Over 30,000 women and children, now approaching 40,000, a stadium full of murdered innocent civilians.
It's pretty gnarly.
Israel has now killed 50 times this number of civilians as Hamas. That makes them
I don't see. Here's my problem. Okay, why are we comparing that like that? Hamas is a terrorist organization. It's not a good numbers game there, man. To be like, let me put it in perspective, because fundamentally people view them differently, right? So we have to change the view a little. Hamas is awful. They need to be eliminated. There you go. Easy. Counting the amount of people that Hamas killed is not a good idea, because none of it should be okay. And then inversely, what it does not do is give Israel consent, again, to kill people who are not represented in my eyes by Hamas whatsoever. And this guy clearly fucking said so earlier. Like, I don't know why he did that. Actually, I do, because this is why I talk about this. Because he does separate them, but he's still a fucking retard. Sorry. He's still a fucking moron who can't figure it out. So he just has to sit there and yell into the mirror like, they fucking deserve it, right?
50 times the
But this is not a good. Let's start weighing the death toll between Hamas and like what?
terrorists. If you think they didn't intend it,
What if it was like half of that? Is it all of a sudden it's not good enough anymore?
American doctors come back and say, there's 5-year-olds, there's children. I mean, not one or two, a lot of them with sniper shots to the head, to the chest. They definitely intend it. Now, what's amazing and interesting, and that's why, look, I don't want hatred to spread.
The Satanic Verses. They bought it not to read, but to burn. 1,000 Muslims gathered in Toronto.
Let's do a satanic riff. That's the music behind this.
Toronto on Sunday. Their call, ban the book, and justice for Rushdie.
To slander the saintly personalities of his family and his noble companions, radiallahu anhum, is ta'an fid deen. To malign the sanctifying rituals of Islam is ta'an fid deen. And ta'an fid deen is blasphemy, and blasphemy is a capital crime in Islam, punishable by death.
2 months ago, the first book burnings in Bradford, a mill town in northern England. It's an unlikely place to be fomenting revolution.
If somebody swear at ourselves, we will tolerate. If somebody swear at our parents, we will tolerate. But if somebody swear at our prophet and our big persons,
What part? What are they burning again? Grand. The Israeli depiction in the Bible does endorse slavery. I don't think Israeli government right now does. What? I don't really know many countries that practice chattel slavery anymore. Not you too, man. damn it. It was much easier when we were watching No Riz Harry Potter, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Instead of listening to Bogos explain to us how Islamic people make him fucking, you know, tuck his head down and stare at the ground and shake uncontrollably. I don't fucking know what the fuck is going on. Jesus Christ.
We won't tolerate.
Thousands marched in Bradford. Ordinarily, it's a quiet city of 500,000. The Muslim community is strong, 65,000 strong.
I'm sorry, that but Bogos is I think he took a little too much pre-workout today. I don't know. Bogos, instead of punching the air furiously, okay? Like just go like lift some weights or something. Like, fucking gotta kick all the fucking Muslims, dude.
There are 38.
Because that doesn't solve anything. Okay, I want there to be peace. But Israel's government is saying no.
This guy called himself America's rabbi. He labeled himself America's rabbi. In his book, Kosher Lust, Botek said that lust rather than love is the glue to a healthy marriage. What in the fuck does that mean? Love is not the answer. He believes married couples should focus on having a strong sexual connection. This guy is going to give me sexual advice.
Back all the
This fucking dude who doesn't even know what a comb is? I'm at a loss for words. Has anyone ever told him that if you are a man, that you must have one of these in containment? So if you have a messy beard, your hair must be good and well done. If you have messy hair, your beard must be well done. This man chose somehow both on the top, and then whatever looks like the most coarse sandpaper I could find in a hardware store on his fucking beard, okay? Or like on his chin. I'm just like
hostages. We'll give you a couple of weeks break, then we'll go back to starving and bombing you.
wow, that was gnarly. Pillars of lust. Unavailability? What? He thinks that being unavailable for your wife or husband is a pillar of lust. Mystery. In sinfulness. This sounds like obsession, not lust. Lust is desire. I want you. I can't live without you. My love is empty without you. I will forsake everything for you. I will follow you even if you leave me. And I will stab you in the middle of the night. Is that the continue? Is that what happens after that sentence? Because that's what it fucking feels like to me right now. You can't leave me. If I can't have you, no one can have you. What is happening here, bro? Bogos. Relax. God damn it. Bogos. I already fucking warned you. If you do it again, I will time you out for like 10 seconds. Just fucking yell at me or something. Beam me up, people. One needs respect, appreciation, compliments, and shared values. If one is in a marriage where one doesn't deeply desire the other person, That M5 isn't in here that often. Quit being mean. All right. At least entertain the conversation without being a fucking weirdo. I'm not even paying attention, but like every now and then, out of the peripheral of my vision, because I'm incapable of fucking not having awareness, I'm just noticing phrases that you're using that are like fundamentally too retarded. Or sorry, I keep saying that fucking word. Sorry, Bliss. Too stupid. That's what I'm gonna say. He also points to the Bible. Bogos said stop. A poem that describes. I need. Does anyone have Hassan's phone number? I That's what I'm talking about. Maybe I can just palm one off of him. I just have to be careful though. If I get out of my chair. How much fucking Adderall did you take today, Boko? Right. Do you need a Xanax bar? I will fucking mail one to you, dude. I will fucking mail one to you. You're like boiling? I need you to simmer, okay? Fucking 99 degrees Celsius. At least find the comfort to be near like 40 or something. Dude, you are a dog with rabies right now, okay? Just fucking in the zone, like in the flow. You're just like, ah. I don't think you can come back from that one, Bogos. Oh no, Bogos, yeah, you're fucked. Oh my lord. Whew. There's no coming back from that one. He wrote that it is part of Jewish Talmudic law that a man must ensure that his wife reaches orgasm before he does. Okay. If another motherfucker comes in my chat and tells me that Talmudic law is authoritative, I am hitting them with this shit, dude. Yeah? Well, have you always made your wife orgasm before? I don't think you're a real Jew then, okay? Because you gotta, this is the authoritative text, okay? You gotta fucking always do this. Do you eat pork every now and then? Bitch? Talmuds are authoritative. I'm saving this, dude. For the next anti-Semitic motherfucker that comes in here. I'm so fucking ready. I'm relishing the moment now. He's just gonna hit me with the I'm not Jewish though, probably. I don't know. Oh yeah, dude? Anti-Semite? Let's go. Beautiful scripture, bro. Authoritatively, fucking Jewish law number 465. Men must make women come before you do. Do you really need a Xanax bar? I don't know, bro. I need a mental. Damn it, Bogos. I need a mental break. I don't. It's because it can kill anything, Bogos, including rabies and too much. I didn't say anything about boofing. I mean, if that's your preferred method of choice, bro. Somewhere that M5's comment is coming back. A little quick. Here we go. Yeah. He read like the first fucking sentence up to the ellipses, and he's like, ah, bro. He's like, Grand, I really hope. Sometimes I just think of you as like imagine like a kid leaving math class with like the fucking, the pocket protector, and you like drop your calculator, and you're just like, no, it's my Texas Instrument. Quit kicking it. Stop, no. I'm sorry. It's so like extremely dry, and no, I'm talking to Grant. I mean, it could be something else. It could be like super cool poetry. I don't know. It could be like your sporadic notes of like Max Stirner. No, stop, no. As it like falls everywhere. Oh, hey, I respect the nerds. I'm talking about the ones who do like the actually. Good sir, actually. Okay. Yeah. Actually, sir, you missed the bounds on your integral. I think actually, sir, you've severely missed the point of this read. Are we gonna turn in the homework today, sir? Look. I'm just kidding, Graham. I'm sorry. I don't think you're that. Because you're asking the professor if you can turn in next week's homework. Can I turn it in early, sir? I really I just I couldn't wait. While you're at it, can you take the entire semester? We'll globalize. Maybe you're the one I'm talking about. Who the fuck does homework, bro? Why do you think it took me so long to get my degrees? Fuck you, bro. You're the reason I failed algebra twice. Not kidding. I fucking sucked at math. Not kidding. I was not a good student either. Samurai, I think highly of this video because I now have the perfect response to someone who's in a conversation with me about whether or not Palestinians are separate from Hamas. And it comes directly from the mouth of a man who didn't understand what he was saying, but he is America's rabbi. So the man seems like he is Hebrew of the Hebrews.
She is completely in the New York Times now admits that they lied on their front page. They put a picture of an thing in the New York Times now admits that they lied on their front page.
Wait, really? Oh. Back it up. I'm in drop D, so my brain's fucking up. What else do I know from Rush?
Page. They put a picture of an emaciated
What? For this guy? I think he's got one left. I can still see the crumbs from 2 months ago in this guy's fucking beard.
starving Palestinian child 1 week ago on Wednesday on their front page. Later, they were forced to admit the child had muscular dystrophy. He was born with a muscle disorder. That's why he's emaciated. There's a picture of his brother right next to him, which the UN cropped out. He is completely normal. There's a
Wait, is the argument here that because this kid has a disease and because he's probably going to be emaciated faster, that all of a sudden the kid's emaciation is now fine? What the fuck just happened? Is that the argument?
picture right next to him, which the UN
Am I fucking going crazy?
that's forced to admit the child had muscular dystrophy.
So he has a fucking mental, or sorry, a fucking physical disability, and somehow that means that because he's emaciated, it's not because of the problem at hand. It's because he has a disability, and therefore it's fine.
He was born with a muscle disorder. That's why he's emaciated. There's
That's the only reason.
a picture of his brother right next to him, which the UN cropped out. He is completely normal. There's a picture of his mother holding her. She is completely normal. There is no starvation in Gaza.
Well, that's quite the claim. I mean, if there was no starvation in Gaza, then why would they essentially assault all of the food trucks and the food that we give them like they're the fucking zombies in World War Z? I mean, do they do that for no reason or what? I mean, does it matter about this story that he's talking about? I don't think I need to form my opinion based off of whether the United Nations reports some stupid fucking photo properly or this guy's interpretation of that photo. Because if they weren't starving, then why would we be dumping so much fucking food in the fucking area and then watching them literally fucking attack it like World War Z as if the food is Brad Pitt? Like, what are we talking about? Do we need this one photo to inform ourselves to be like, I guess it's okay actually. They did crop a baby incorrectly out of a photo. No starvation. Like, who the fuck thinks like this? I guess you would if you had to justify your fucking horrible worldview. You'd probably start doing things like innocent Palestinians are being killed by Hamas and not realize that you're saying some of the most stupid shit on the fucking planet.
There's crushed peas, all these baby formulas that are sitting and baking in the sun, as the UN says to the IDF, you cannot distribute it. Now, why is that? Because the more
Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Dude, Hamas doesn't buy missiles. They make them out of the bottle rockets I get at my fucking local hobby shop, okay? What kind of... They're called rockets, bro. They have, like, fucking gunpowder that was taken out of the fucking rounds of ammunition they barely get. Fuck are you talking about? Missile, dude? Those things are literally bottle rockets that barely even fucking make impacts. Because then you'd have to give them rights to vote in the states that don't like them. All of a sudden, Kentucky would be really mad, even though they have slave labor. Bogos, I don't trust you. Anyways, Samurai, I am very happy you showed me this because, again, this is perfect. Because
more of our innocent Palestinian brothers die.
I just don't even understand how this was even possible. But now whenever I talk to someone and I want to explain this, I'm just going to be like, well, America's rabbi, the most Hebrew of Hebrew Jews, quite clearly thinks they're different. And he probably wants them exterminated at the end of the sentence too. So I don't really understand what's happening. Bogos, all of your links are funny. You are so handsome. And the women can never take their eyes off you, okay? There's just, yeah, of course. Yes. No, that's all the information you're going to get from me. If it's not enough, it's hard, okay? I'm not good at this.
Gaza,
I'm not going to pat your head too, okay? I'll just bless your children. And I hope they have as much sex as they want in their lifetime, okay? There you go.
more people like
More 6'3" than Syracuse.
Cenk can falsely accuse me. How disgusting is that? Of being a Nazi. I'm in Budapest right now where 600,000 Jews were killed by the Nazis. And you know,
It's just so random. Bogos. I can't, dude. I can't. I need to be 6'3.75, okay, to click that link. Are you friends with Bogos? Why did you steal his story? What's going on here? Oh, God. Okay, what you just said, Bogos, you should have known that that's going to make me very unlikely to click that link. I am completely against clicking that link with every fucking fiber of my being now. Okay.
We're in Jericho, the oldest city in the world.
All right, let's see it.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bogos can't pick his pheromones. Bogos has to go to Bed Bath & Beyond and buy every single fucking spray known to man. It's just what it is.
The book of Joshua says that when the Israelites encircled this town and marched around it, the walls just fell straight down and out, creating a ramp.
The book of Joshua.
Bogos, pheromones don't have to come from that.
It does not say the walls fell down and out, creating a ramp. Joshua 6:20 says "Vatipol achuma tachteha," which means "and fell."
Also, clearly Bogos is quite the virgin, because that's not really a fun time for anyone if you're close. I'm not really sure I've ever... No, because he said it's not quite... Is it, if only you knew. I mean, if you're close to 12 inches, you're probably having a rough time, buddy. No, I mean, like, if it is close to 12 inches, he's not having a fun time. You know what I'm saying? It kind of becomes a an inhibitor, okay, like a hindrance, okay. It's not much of a strong or like a strength as you think it is. No, thankfully. Only, you know, communicating with what preferences are, okay. Well, your comment implies that you're like actually close to 12. Bogos is trying to out alpha male me. Like he's fucking Andrew Tate, I think, by saying that he's slightly more than 6'3" when I said 6'3". I think. You know what I mean? Or like you say something and then some dude next to you has to go like, wait a minute. That made me really uncomfortable inside. And I have no idea why. So I need to say something that's better. Actually, I can lift 360. I can bench 360. What do you think about that? Yeah, totally. There's no such thing as an alpha. When did I say I was an alpha? Why are you attacking me now? What the fuck, man? That samurai is in Bogos. You know what samurai said? Samurai's like, if you're 6'3", you're 6'3", 7'5". What the fuck is the point here, bro? the dryness of that. Like, Bogos, I just want you to know, if Samurai were in the room, or like we were all just sitting or hanging out, or like new people, and you said some shit like that, Samurai would be thinking to himself, like, what a fucking loser, bro. Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck is this guy? Oh no. What is this? Even though, because it would mean it's a turn off now. I'm like, oh, even though you might be cute, right? Like, this is gonna suck ass. I don't want to guide you through fucking, like, you know, the basics of fucking. Sorry, riding a I didn't mean. motorcycle. Samurai didn't say you were a loser. I'm totally presupposing everything that happens afterwards. It's just he doesn't get it. Probably I don't get it either. Bro. Oh, I'm not gonna say it. Oh my god. All I'm saying is Bogos is the IRA, and we're the unlucky hostages on behalf of the Irish fucking state. No, Samurai's too nice for that. Bogos, I totally just incorporated my own thoughts in that. Is this something that happens in between the bangs on the walls in the white room, or what, Bogos? Is it, what delusion are we talking about? This fucking video's too much. I'm dead.
I can't believe this is real.
Rabbi Shmuley, and you said, who's this guy?
Rabbi Shmuley is dressed like this clown on the back of a U.S. senator from New Jersey called Cory Booker. That's some weird shit, bro. That's some weird shit. I never knew this video existed.
Is this the lust I was reading earlier from this rabbi? This man is the definition of mystery. He also made a book called The Kosher Kama Sutra. His philosophy is that passionate lovemaking leads to intimacy. Is this the passionate lovemaking?
I mean, we can't beat him. We might as well join him, I guess, huh? Just dance. I can't believe this is real.
Rabbi Shmuley, and you said, who's this guy?
Rabbi Shmuley is dressed like this clown on the back of a U.S. senator from New Jersey called Cory Booker.
This must be his opine. Couples should have the dirtiest sex where they can't control themselves, where the beast within is awakened. That's what passion is all about. In order to have that, you need a modest exterior. That is eroticism. I guess the Talmud, in his eyes, most definitely includes the buttocks. I'm not sure what Torah he's reading, but I will say that the Jewish text is pretty against putting things in your butt. But Rabbi Botek thinks that he is against the lights being on when you masturbate. What the fuck, dude?
That's some weird shit, bro.
This guy is quite the interesting. Oh, okay. He is perfectly fine saying that the Bible condemns homosexuality, but he's like, you should get sex toys. What the fuck is going on in this dude's head? Put it right in your butt. But like, not if you can't be gay. Like, what the fuck is going? Like, I can't handle this. He believes that the biggest threat to marriage comes from heterosexual divorce, which he says afflicts half of marriages. Is this a quote? Yeah. You know, I believe that when it rains, there are a lot of clouds in the sky that cause the rain to come down. And this is an affliction that happens when it rains because clouds are usually a part of this rain. when sound enters my ears. I can't even do it anymore. Hey, if you go by this book, he is in favor of anything that awakens the beast, okay? So if you, fucking unfortunately for you, feel like that's how you can awaken the beast, man, then just do it, you know? I'm sorry that I'm fine. Hardcore. Bogos, I'm not clicking any of your links, dude. All I want to say, Bogos, is that you have sex with the lights on, okay? What was the wait? What did I miss from that M5? I'm neither. What did I miss? What is the hard question here? I don't even know how to answer that. I'm gonna run away from this hard question. Classic Circa. I'm gonna appeal to Bogos. I think he has extremely good insight on this. I think Bogos' brain is fantastically well equipped to answer that question. How would you know that it's a gay sex toy? Grand, they look identical. Why would companies market to non-gay or gay sex toys? They're just marketed towards the other thing. Ugh. All right, my friend. I think I'm gonna end it a little bit earlier today because not because I'm not enjoying this. I'm having fun today, but my stomach is absolutely curdling right now and screaming at me to go get food. So I'm gonna go get some food. But thank you all for watching once more. Bogos, no, you were a bad. You fucking made that M5 feel bad today. Punishment. All right. He's not in here that often. I like my UK friend who can keep me updated on all the. Globalize, I'm sorry you had to eat that piece of bread once you were all done circle jerking, okay? It's okay, man. You're not gay, I promise. I'm sorry, man. I know it sucks. But thank you all for coming. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a wonderful night. And if anyone wants to know, on a side note, I did talk to Ancom a lot from the debate, and we actually came to a much better agreement with some more time talking to each other and in messages, so which was pretty nice. He did give me a historical context, I think in a document himself, maybe, yeah, that I'm going to read, but we definitely came to a closer understanding of what we were talking about in the debate. Did he write this himself? What the fuck is this? Okay. This looks nice. Looks really nice to read. But anyways,